Hey everyone, Chris from Computer Stuff here. Today I wanted to talk about the Venu 2 Plus from Garmin and the Apple Watch. I always go back to the Apple Watch as the default watch that I compare everything to. There's a reason for that, and that's mainly just because A, it's like the world's most popular smartwatch, but also because I feel like there's a lot of things I don't like about the Apple Watch, but you can't deny the fact that their hardware in the watch is superior. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. I really do like the Venu 2 Plus, but there are some things that made me gravitate back to the Apple Watch, and I'll get into that here momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go down a list here of sort of stuff that I kind of think about with the Garmin. There's a YouTube channel called Quantified Scientist, did a really great review about the sleep capabilities of the Garmin Venu. So that's worth watching, and I will link that in the description. There is, the thing about it is, like, I feel like, and this is my biggest problem with some of the Garmin products, I really love the design and execution, but I feel like their metrics, like, they lie. I never feel like the heart rate is really all that accurate. The sleep tracking apparently is really not good. I have not personally done any kind of tests on that, but I used it. But that Quantified Scientist video kind of showed that it was really sort of a joke. When I do a workout, the metrics on it are always all over the place too. You've got this thing like this, I don't know, there's just no denying the fact that the Apple Watch is just a superior health tracking device. That said, I do feel like the Garmin is a superior watch, but the Apple Watch, if you want, health metrics, it's just the way to go. Let's talk about the wallets on both of these things. Really briefly, I'll touch on that. Garmin has the Garmin wallet in a few of their products, but Venu 2 Plus is no exception. Everybody accepts Apple Pay. Like if you go to a store and it has an RFID reader or something like that, the Apple Watch will have no issues with compatibility. I just don't really think that Garmin's wallet is going to be. It's a little bit gimmicky in my opinion. The Venu 2 enabled voice assistant activation. So like if you press this button, yeah, see, it's worthless. It doesn't work. Whereas if you do it on the Apple Watch, she'll come up quick and with no problem. So, the voice assistant thing on the Venu 2 Plus, absolute gimmick, does not work. So, battery life, vastly superior on the Garmin. I mean, I got probably about 5 days with no issues, whereas the Apple Watch, you really do have to charge this thing every night. With one exception, the Garmin, every so often, will have a particularly weird glitch where the battery life, it just starts eating it alive. In other words, I'll start with, having fully charged it, 100% battery, and then 1 day later, it's at like 20%. If you reboot the watch, that will then fix it. Not really sure why that's the case, but it's just the way that it is. Otherwise, the battery life on it is pretty superior. I had this thing sitting in standby for a few days too, and it only ate about 74%, so good battery life. The Garmin is far more customizable, which I really, really like. On the Apple Watch, there are apps that you simply cannot remove. You cannot get rid of email and messages and some of these other things, stuff that I don't ever use and have no intention of ever using. Whereas on the Garmin, you can customize this like little widget screen exactly how you want. But that does lead me to one issue, and that is that it does have certain things on here that are, again, kind of useless, and that is like the body battery and the stress metric. I mean, these things are very gimmicky. They're really not all that accurate. And I know there's going to be people that are, oh, I find it to be, it's not. There's been scientific studies on it. Again, you can look that up. I also don't like that the hydration and the weather widget never seem to update on the Garmin's. That is not something specific to the Venu 2 Plus. That is an issue on every Garmin smartwatch. There is something with the iPhone integration that it has a real tough time updating these metrics in real time. So design on both of them, I kind of wish the Apple Watch would take some design cues from the Garmin. I love the 3-button setup and the fact that you don't have to rely on the touchscreen. That's something that I really love about the Garmin's. Whereas the Apple Watch, you really have no choice but to use the touchscreen. Why is that a problem for me? Well, if you're sweating or the watch is wet or anything like that. It makes for a very complicated user experience on the Apple Watch. That said, there is one nice thing about the Apple Watch that they have recently fixed, and I think you can only do it in the app, but they have allowed you to, as a user, start updating the return to clock metrics, or return to clock features, meaning that like if you are, one thing I hated about the Apple Watch is when you were on the timer, and if you set a timer, it would default back to the home screen, whereas you can now tell the Apple Watch to remain on the timer screen, so I like that they've fixed that. Garmin screen, when you are sleeping with the watch on, it will randomly go on, and it's very bright, and it will randomly go on at night, whereas the Apple Watch is much smarter, whereas it will only the screen will only turn on if you push in the crown. I have found that sleeping with the Garmin woke me up a lot more and was disruptive to my sleep, whereas the Apple Watch is a little less disruptive. I'm not sure why that's the thing. The Garmin allows you to set your sleep schedule. I feel like they could have been a little smarter with the way the watch screen responds to that, but Apple wins in that category as well. So I know this was just sort of a quick little video kind of touching on these two watches. Do I like the Venu 2 Plus? I really do. It's a good watch. Am I going to keep it? No. I think the Apple Watch is superior despite its some of its annoyances and flaws. You know, 5-day battery life is certainly better than 1-day battery life, but you know, ultimately, if you just get into the habit of charging the Apple Watch, you know, that kind of resolves that issue. You know, hopefully Apple will finally get the battery life better in the next iteration or two. Otherwise, I do think, you know, also it's the I don't know, interface on it's a little bit choppy. I just think that the Apple Watch is a superior product, and for that matter, it's $100 less. You know, they priced the Venu 2 Plus at $450, whereas you can get the Apple Watch at $350. I'm not really sure what Garmin was thinking there, but you know, it's for all those people that just simply don't want to have an Apple Watch. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You're gonna have a superior metrics and health experience on the Apple Watch. You also have more apps and stuff like that too. It's a superior smartwatch. Garmin, beautiful looking, robust, it's a beast. I like it very much. But you know, if you're looking for a watch, smartwatch, Apple's the way to go. Otherwise, you know, I don't know, maybe get yourself a nice Omega or Rolex or Casio, G-Shock, something like that. Anyway, that is the Venu 2 Plus. Thank you for watching. We will be back with another video soon.